Zoom's Rich Kriscunias. Rich?
Yes, we don't know much about Mrs. Hudson, as Dr. Watson really didn't give us much information about her life before Sherlock Holmes. Bob Katz wrote in the Baker Street Journal, for Sherlock Holmes, Irene Adler was the woman. For Sherlockians, Mrs. Hudson was the landlady. People have always wondered who Mr. Hudson was. In the Five Orange Pips, there was a Hudson who was in the KKK. There was the retailer Morse Hudson, who bought 3 busts of Napoleon. There was Hudson the seaman, who worked for Victor Trevor in the Gloria Scott. But despite what some people have written over the years, my guess is that none of them were her husband. Who was he? What did he do? Those questions will never be answered, but he did leave her a house on Baker Street that she was able to manage quite profitably. What we do know is that Mrs. Hudson's first floor flat was invaded at all hours by undesirable characters, policemen, damsels in distress, and kings. Her patience was tried by Holmes's untidiness, his violin playing at strange hours, his smelly shag tobacco, indoor revolver practice, and countless scientific experiments. Notwithstanding Holmes being the worst tenant in London, her devotion and affection for him was demonstrated in The Dying Detective when, against his commands, she made sure that he saw a doctor. She was courageous when she exposed herself to the risk of gunfire from Colonel Moran's air gun as she crawled on her knees for hours to reposition a dummy every 15 minutes near a second-floor window. Just as Holmes was lost without his Boswell, Watson, Holmes could not have survived without his Mrs. Hudson. So please raise your glass as we toast the landlady, Mrs. Hudson.
Thank you, Rich.